Make that decision now. That's what I did when I decided. I made the conscious decision that there and then that I would never, ever work in the 9-to-5 system again. Hello beautiful mamas, welcome back to another video. My name is Christina and I help mamas like you reclaim their power in motherhood and discover their true authentic self. So when I actually finally made that decision to never go back into the matrix and live my life miserable, not following my dreams, not being that divine feminine mother that I wanted to be, was just make my life hell and miserable. And I made that conscious decision because I had my son. I wanted to spend more time with my family. I wanted to be financially free and create my own abundance. So this video is about how I got to that point, how I am currently doing that. Obviously, when I had my son, I was on maternity leave. I was actually made redundant out of my old job because the business went bust, and at 20 weeks, I was made redundant. So I had maternity government allowance rather than maternity pay, and that was slowly running out, and I was kind of feeling like, I was ready to go back to work. So I applied for a nursery job that was local to me, and I got the job straight away. And I was only there 1 month. When I worked there, I was starting to feel like this isn't for me anymore. There's something deep in my soul that does not want this. And because when I became a mum, I woke up to how much trauma I'd been through, how much I wanted to break those parenting cycles and be more of a gentle parent to my own son. So when I went back to working in a nursery with other children, it made me feel like actually these nursery workers do not feel in alignment with how I want to treat children. In nurseries, the workers are quite often disrespectful to the children. I've experienced it where a nursery worker refused to give a child a hug because the child was crying, and they said, "I will only give you a hug if you stop crying in my ear." Come on. I was being so gentle, I was being nurturing to the children, and I was like, nah, I'm getting out of this. It's not for me anymore. And working with a lot of women, you'd get surrounded by gossip and bitching, backstabbing, and it's just not the environment that I wanted to be around. So after 1 month, I handed my notice in, and I was like, nope, no more. I do not care what they think. I've only been here a month, and I don't care if they think I'm weird just for being here a month. So from November to December I was in work, and I applied to go back to college to study photography. I wanted to do my own business, create my own abundance. I had this deep desire though that I wanted to teach, I wanted to guide and support other mums. I was always very good at teaching and giving advice, even when I worked in nurseries, when I was a room leader or I was the deputy manager in one nursery I worked at. I always felt like I had this good ability to be a role model and help and support what the right way to do things was. But I went back to college because photography was a passion. I was like, this is what I want to do. But deep down I was just like, is this my ego just wanting to create abundance rather than my soul passion wanting to come out? But then January came, and I went through a spiritual awakening which shifted my whole life. If you have been through a spiritual awakening, you will know exactly what I mean. And there and then I made that conscious decision. I would never work in the 9-to-5 system again. It is a slave matrix system that confines you to a box, keeps you in flight, fight or freeze mode, the wounded masculine system that tells you you must work and be stressed out till you die, essentially. And I was like, I ain't having that. I want to create my own life. I want to create my own abundance, my own freedom, and live my life as my higher self embodied. Like, I am not living in this 3D fucking matrix anymore. And that's the thing, once you make that conscious decision, that choice there and then, you will know that that is now what guides you. It becomes your identity, it becomes your driving force, it becomes the reason why you want to do whatever it is you are doing. I was not going back, and the thought of it now, even job searching, it doesn't even come into my thought process. Like job searching, going to get a job, like no, it makes me cringe. It makes me feel like, it just makes me feel like, ugh. And I used to be someone that like would job search quite a lot, and I could never really actually stick at a job. Now thinking the longest I ever lasted at any job was 2 years, well, just shy of 2 years. It was never full 2 years, and it was because I just hated working. Nobody likes to work. Can you honestly tell me you like working? Like 9 to 5 or long hours, nights, or like awful shift patterns that make you stressed and tired, then irritable at your family because you are so triggered, because we cannot get out of this triggered response, this fight, flight or freeze, because we are so stressed out. And even when we're going to bed, we are not relaxing fully because we know we have work the next day. I'm gonna try and cut it down a bit. I went back to college, I studied photography for a year, and now I have my own photography business. And then I created my Christina Woodward brand business. I use social media, I use things to create my own abundance. I empower mums, I let my passion come out because I became more soul aligned, and this freedom, this driving force that I wanted for me as my family, I knew that I was going to create my own abundance. And when you use your values and what your soul truly wants as a woman, as a mother, magical things start to happen when you listen to your heart rather than being trapped in that matrix and not giving a crap what anybody else will think. And the key here is to just step into that unknown, step into that fear of what other people may think. If you choose to go down a path of financial freedom, creating your own abundance, going online to create abundance, just start today. That is the key. Make that conscious decision today that you will never go back to the 9 to 5. Because I consciously made that decision to get out of the matrix, I am now creating my own abundance, which gives me financial freedom. It gives me time with my family. And I am now saving for my camper van. We plan to, have a camper van, go travelling, and just have way much more freedom than what the 9 to 5 does. The 9 to 5 keeps you trapped in this system of work till you die, paycheck to paycheck, miserable life, and stressed out constantly, rather than living that soul aligned desire, what your soul craves, what your higher self actually wants for you. And it's not just about living off grid, homesteading, wild living, all that stuff that you often see on Instagram that makes you feel like fucking crap because it looks like they have the picture perfect life of what you actually want. Like they say they've escaped the matrix and got out. I'm all for that, 100%. That's why I'm doing this video. I want everybody to be that sovereign being that they are. But have they escaped the matrix from within? Because your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Have they really worked on themselves? Have they got rid of that fear of what people are thinking? Have they got rid of their abundance blocks? You're thinking like, oh, I can't possibly do it. I don't have the funds. I don't have this. Well, make that decision today to start saving. Make that decision today to start homeschooling your child, when we go down the path that is more soul aligned what you want for your family, then there's no stopping you. It will kick up dust. It will make you feel fear because it is the unknown. It will bring up all those things of, oh, am I making that right decision? You will doubt yourself. But the people that claim they've already escaped the matrix, they're living off grid, have they dealt with their inner world? There could be so much more going on in their lives. So don't worry if you're one of those mamas. Like, I'm still there. I would love to be in my camper van right now. I'd love to be doing all these other things. But I'm saving. I'm making the conscious decisions today that will get me to where I want to be. Rather than sitting at home, wallowing in self-pity, being a victim, I am making that choice to get me to where I want to be. If you are struggling with like feeling fear, want to feel empowered, want to not care what other people think, and have boundaries in place and feel more just in alignment with your true self, go and check out one of these two videos. This one, I share everything about motherhood empowerment, ways to make you feel more empowered, and this one I share about boundaries. But with that being said, I will see you on the next video. Much love.